There's a reason you've been feeling restless lately, like your life no longer fits inside you, like something is off, even when, on the surface, everything looks the same. You wake up, do what needs to be done, answer people, fulfill your responsibilities. But a part of you is somewhere else, watching from a distance, not fully here. And maybe you've tried to explain it away as anxiety, or burnout, or a lack of purpose. Maybe you've tried to numb it with distractions, busyness, entertainment, new goals, more effort. But let me be honest with you in a way most people aren't. This isn't anxiety, it isn't depression, it isn't a motivation problem. It's the end of an identity. Something inside you is dying, not metaphorically, not someday in the future, right now. And this video didn't reach you by accident. It found you because you're finally too tired to keep pretending you still fit inside who you used to be. There's a moment in life when the deepest pain doesn't come from what went wrong, but from what no longer makes sense. You can feel that you're not who you were anymore, but you also don't know who you're becoming. Everything feels suspended. Nothing fully ends. Nothing truly begins. This is the most uncomfortable place a human being can stand. The middle. Not when you feel ready. Not when it's convenient. Right here. In the confusion, the uncertainty, the quiet grief, something new is trying to emerge. And if you can understand what's actually happening instead of fighting it, everything changes. Because what's happening isn't that you're broken. It's that you're shedding. Here's what almost no one tells you. You're addicted to who you were. Not in a poetic sense, in a literal one. Your nervous system has learned to depend on the version of you that's been running your life for years. Not because that version was happy, not because they were fulfilled, but because they were familiar. Your brain knows exactly how that version reacts to stress. Your body knows how they hold tension. Your mind knows which thoughts to loop when things get hard. That predictability creates a false sense of safety, even when that safety is slowly suffocating you. That's why change feels so terrifying. Not because the new is bad, but because the unknown feels more dangerous than a familiar misery. And until you see that clearly, you'll keep trying to change your life without changing who's living it. And that's impossible. Because in reality, this is what's been happening every day. You're not living. You're repeating. The same thoughts create the same feelings, which lead to the same choices, which produce the same outcomes. You wake up with the same internal dialogue. You react to the same triggers in the same way. And then you tell yourself you're working on yourself. But you're not. You're running an old program. That program was written years ago, based on who you had to be to survive. It decided how you see yourself, how you protect yourself, how you hide, how you limit your expression. And over time, that program stopped feeling like a pattern. It started feeling like identity. You're not being you, you're being a recording of you. And the most unsettling part is that it happens so automatically you don't even notice. It feels natural to say, this is just who I am. But it's not who you are, it's who you've practiced being. And this is the core truth. You can't become who you're meant to be while you're still running the operating system of who you used to be. Those two versions can't coexist. You don't upgrade software while keeping the old system intact. Something has to end for something new to begin. Not improve, not adjust. End. In nature, there are creatures that grow by shedding their exoskeleton. When their body outgrows the shell doesn't stretch, it cracks. And if fragments of it remain attached, the new body grows restricted, distorted by what was never released. That's what's happening to you. You're molting. The restlessness, the sense that you no longer belong inside your own life, those are signs that the old shell is breaking. And the hardest part of this process is the space between shells. There, you have no protection, no identity, no armor, only vulnerability. That's where most people panic. They try to crawl back into the old version, even though it no longer fits. They choose being small and safe over being exposed and growing. But you can't go back. The shell has already cracked. The only choice now is whether you fully release it or allow fragments of the past to shape and limit who you're becoming. And what makes this especially painful is that the version that's dying isn't just your flaws. It's the identity you built to survive. The one who had to be strong because vulnerability wasn't safe. The one who had to be perfect because love felt conditional. The one who had to stay small because shining felt dangerous. Those versions protected you. They served a purpose. That's why letting them go hurts. This isn't guilt. It isn't shame. It's grief. You don't heal the old self by fixing them. You honor them. You thank them. And you let them die so the self underneath all that armor can finally breathe. So how do you do this in real life? You start by observing, without forcing change, without trying to kill the pattern. When the old reaction appears, you simply notice it. There it is, the old program. And that awareness alone begins to dissolve something, because you can't observe the loop and remain trapped in it at the same time. Then, you practice what feels wrong at first. You think thoughts the old you wouldn't think. You make choices the old you would avoid. You respond in ways that feel unfamiliar. Not to perform change, not to prove anything, but because discomfort is the signal that something new is forming. This process doesn't feel like progress. It feels like disorientation, like loss, like you don't know who you are anymore. And that's true. You're no longer who you were, but you're not fully who you're becoming yet. You're in the mold. And now I need you to do something simple but powerful. If this is resonating, if you recognize yourself in this space between versions, go to the comments and type 4 words. The old me dies. No explanation, no story, just the declaration. Because when you name this, you stop fighting the process. You stop trying to save an identity that already fulfilled its role. You give yourself permission to let the new emerge fully. And when that happens, you become unrecognizable, even to yourself. Some people will say you've changed, like it's an accusation. And you'll look at them calmly and say, I know, without apologizing. Because you weren't meant to stay inside an old shell just to keep others comfortable. Your old self was a necessary chapter, but chapters end. And trying to live inside a chapter that's already over doesn't honor the story. It keeps you stuck rereading the same pages. You're not falling apart, you're becoming. The old shell has already cracked. The only thing left is to stop clinging to it. So let me ask you this. How much longer are you going to try to fit inside something you've already outgrown? How many more years will you spend trying to improve a version of yourself that was only meant to get you here, not take you forward? The new you doesn't need to be created. They need to be uncovered. The shell is already falling away. Now step out of it.